I try to write down shit throughout the year.
That she been hinting that she wants you to get.
No, not just shit that she just wants or shit that she likes. It's not so much about what she wants me to get. It's just about, I see the way she acts when she sees certain shit.
So, for example, like what? What you think you should have said?
What do you mean?
Like, you said that she wanted to see if you was paying attention or whatever. So, what you should have said that you wanted for Christmas? Since you should have been...
At the time, I didn't know.
No, but what would have been, like...
What I want versus she wants, you mean?
I'm talking about, you said you should have paid attention to what's going on, right? You said she was seeing if you was paying attention or whatever. So if
no.
Women leave breadcrumbs, men leave loaves of bread.
Fuck does that mean? I know I'm like only 26. Don't be hitting me with that ancient mumbo jumbo shit. What the fuck that mean?
She didn't tell me anything that she wanted, or vice versa. I'm still trying to understand your question. Say it one more time.
You said she wants you to pay attention,
but that's all women.
But when it comes to asking what you want, what are you paying attention to?
No, to be honest, I don't play that figuring out shit when it comes to Christmas. I actually share what you want,
right?
And then I usually get it,
right?
Or blah blah blah. But at the same time, I get like gift 1A, I give gift 1B.
Oh, okay.
That's just me. But sometimes she'd be like, okay, I want this, I want that, and I'll see if I can get it. But what's that machine that that shit's like $2,000. That machine when the person is talking to you on the screen while you're working out. Portal. That's what she.
Oh yeah,
that's what she.
Yeah,
that's love.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I got a phone for that.
Huh?
I got a phone for that. FaceTime.
Yeah,
that's nothing but FaceTime. Like what the hell?
It's not FaceTime, man. Not to a girl. That's not FaceTime, man.
Yeah.
Especially to a girl who could afford it themselves. Trust me, if you're dealing with a girl who could afford a lot of shit on their own without you, then it's different. You gotta.
Because if she give you a list, you can get the third shit off the list. That's the cheapest because she will buy the first two.
I get a list from my daughter.
That counts.
No, you're right.
See?
You're right. All right.
Shit. Classic.
I didn't mean to steer to the left.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, happy New Year.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Young boy JR is back on the block.
That's right. Who else we got in the house? Mega?
Oh yeah. AKA, this is the way.
I don't know what that means, but
the Mandalorian.
Okay. Yeah, because both of y'all cats was not here last week.
Oh man.
I don't know. You was MIA.
No.
Yes.
No. You didn't hit me up and say that we was recording.
You usually hit me up and ask
that's
me first. So I figured that either you swimming somewhere in some Douce juice, or you somewhere doing something. Yeah.
But then I thought you wanted your moment. Because you was vibing out.
Damn, I love that. I love you, bro. Because
I respect that.
Wanted my moment for.
See, I respect that. But I was like, hell no, not this Monday. Nigga, are we recording, yes or no?
Yeah.
Boom, I'm coming through. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
But you got your fam in the house too.
Yeah, I got my boys with me.
It's a little crowded house tonight, but I like crowdedness, man. That means it's love. That means families here, and also I got my boy in the house, my man, representing his new business venture. Introduce yourself, man. Take your name.
Yeah, everybody knows my name is Kareem, otherwise known as Ashland, but my name is Kareem, and to his point, man, looking for y'all support of KBGymnasium.
KBGymnasium. All right.
Amped up.
Before we get into that, because I'm a little bit hyped to talk about that. Whenever it comes to working with kids or talking about kids,
oh yes,
I'm always like, and you do that too.
Yeah.
So
he does that.
But before since we are here on the block and it's a hip hop show, we want to pay respects and big up to the man Raekwon, the chef. It was his birthday yesterday, right?
Happy birthday. 12th, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Salah Raekwon.
Woo Gambino. I heard you.
He did some shit in Jimmy Jazz not too long ago.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. Raekwon is a unique individual in hip hop because, as far as relevance and as far as cats that came out in the '90s that's still kind of relevant, he's still getting deals like from certain clothing lines, like Timberland and Nike. They still hot on that rate.
Yeah.
For collabs.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why he was at Jimmy Jazz. He was promoting, I forgot what he was promoting. I don't know if it was some Nikes or it was some Timbs. It was something he was promoting. That's why he was there.
Because he did a little freestyle.
Yeah, that too. So, besides him and Ghost are probably the only two dudes who still, like, as far as the fashion culture is concerned, they care about those two dudes.
Came on to a little bit.
No, I mean as far as Wu-Tang is
Okay,
concerned.
okay.
Yeah, as far as Wu-Tang is concerned. But so yeah, I mean, Raekwon is that ill individual as far as I'm concerned.
Colorful dude, man.
Probably one of the best hip hop albums of all time. Only built for Cuban links.
Wait, what do that mean, colorful dude?
Colorful dude mean, you know, he's charismatic, you know what I'm saying?
Because you can't say that shit nowadays.
Character.
Somebody's a colorful dude.
Lord.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked. I asked. Y'all know I'm right.
The real definition
Yeah,
of colorful.
thank you.
I don't say
You know I'm right. Thank you.
But Ray is, I mean, like I said, Ray is a unique individual, and we all got to learn, whoever that watched the Hulu special with the Wu-Tang joint.
Yeah.
You got to learn a lot about Ray, who he was before Wu-Tang started and all that. And it's ill because it's real deep that the shit that still bugs me up to this day is that how him and Ghost are so close, and they had so much beef. They had hardcore shooting at homeboys, shooting at my mom's kids beef. And to the point now that them dudes are like the best friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Those
So
total respect for each other, you know, because how they got down. Like, yo,
exactly.
You ain't nothing to fuck with me neither.
Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like sometimes you see something of you in that person
That probably might
that
be
you
it.
want to kind of like develop or get out, but you can't. But you like hating on it because you don't know how to like appreciate it or whatever. So it could be like, oh fuck out of here, I'm just gonna envy this dude or whatever. But it'd be those two dudes that be like the close, like you can't tell them shit after they squash their beef.
Yeah. I'm still bugging the fact that you said he's 50, B. I really don't believe that, son.
50.
No way, man.
Who's 50?
Yeah, man.
Raekwon is
Why you can't believe that?
But that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You know
We
what?
can't believe it because first, I mean, maybe
Been out forever.
They're called Jay.
So he 50.
Oh, he the old head. He the old man.
You heard
know.
that?
Yeah, exactly.
They be dissing Jay, but now you
That's
find
not
out.
a diss though.
On the low they do.
Yeah, people be
Sneak
dissing. Yeah,
dissing
yeah,
Jay,
yeah,
yeah.
because,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But now you know, Shalom, you know, the God is 50. And he do it at a high velocity, you know what I'm saying? He still put good work out there. And
Yeah.
it's all across the board. You respect everywhere. You be like, yeah.
I'm not buying this, son. This nigga's not 50, son.
Why not?
Well,
What,
Dre,
52?
how old you want him to be, Dre?
46.
Come on, that's bullshit.
No. The reason why I'm saying
Let
that,
him enjoy his 50 circle.
it's still hard to believe that Jay is 50, to be honest. I know.
No, it's not.
You know why? Because
No, it's not. He an old head. He's a family man now.
everybody to you was kind
And he's
of
a businessman.
I knew he was old when he was young.
That's
He
true.
was, but I didn't know
Shit, they think I'm old.
who think you old.
They think I'm old.
You?
He thought I was old.
It's the beard, son.
Exactly.
It's the beard.
So come on.
The Grizzly Adams.
Like,
And another thing that Ray brought to the game, I don't want to say he brought it to the game, but for some reason people affiliate him with all the polo fashion and everything like that.
Well,
but
he
he's not the first.
and he had on polo at Jimmy Jazz.
No, that's what he wears. He wears low. He's been wearing low for a minute.
Yeah, like he was decked out with it.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, I mean, if we want to talk low, as far as hip hop are concerned, as far as like who's like one of the couple of first dudes, I would say Ziggy and them. Remember Ziggy from Harlem?
Yeah, Toss It Up, bro.
Toss It Up, brother.
Yeah.
Those dudes, because they were low heads. They were low. They were actual real official low heads.
Special Ed.
Special Ed's crew. Yeah, man. Those dudes are official.
Prince Low.
Yeah, I don't know that.
No, you wouldn't know that.
Oh, my.
No, but what I'm saying is that the whole low movement now is big.
Because you know who I thought about?
Who?
Kanye.
No.
Oh, no.
All right, take it easy. If I just thought about Kanye, like I said, the polo shit. Yeah. That's it.
Well, Ye got it. Ye. Nah. Yeah, nah. Ye wears low. There's a difference between wearing low and being a low life.
Okay.
These low life dudes, they rob for low, they steal for low. They was hardcore into the low shit where they would run up inside stores and grab like racks and run out stores. This is what they did. Yeah, this is what they think. And this is during the time where you remember Decepticons? You heard about the Decepticon cruise?
No.
Damn.
This is old New York, man.
Yeah, these dudes like they ran New York. They was like
still at
kind of like the gang, one of the gangs, but they was more about. Nah, Decepticons fucking.
No, they was the damn.
Yeah. They went to your school.
They started at Brooklyn Tech.
Yeah, they started at Brooklyn Tech,
right.
and you would think
graphics
because Brooklyn Tech is a specialized school where you had to be a smart motherfucker to get in there.
That don't mean
That's
shit.
where the
It
original-
doesn't, and that's where the base was for the
Yeah.
Decepticons.
Wow.
The base.
Well, there was always
And that's right
I would say
downtown.
it's a contention, but it was a thing between tech and graphics being the home base of operations. But the leader, Meg, rest in peace, Meg, came from Brooklyn Tech.
Yeah?
And a lot of people from Brooklyn Tech were Decepts.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Fort Greene area, like right there. Boom.
I mean, you cats dodged a mad bullet, man. And, I'm just saying that y'all generation, what I'm saying is because the way school was back then, the way school is now, it's totally different.
You couldn't
man.
walk down certain blocks and you didn't know nobody.
Yeah.
That's
And going to school was it was an adventure, but at the same time you had to be on your shit. You couldn't be too fresh. Because cats see you too fresh.
Oh.
Yo, where you from, or who you know that you got all this gear on and think that you could just come through like
you
this?
could do that.
Yeah. The cats would just strip you, straight up strip. You be going home straight up naked.
Nah, they gotta get shot.
Big.
Ain't nobody stripping me.
It ain't like that, man.
Yeah, what you gonna do? What you gonna do if 30 niggas run up on you? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna come back and pop all
Come
30
back?
niggas.
You
Yeah.
gonna-
I'm gonna go home, take the L, but I'm coming back though.
You come back to what?
The same day.
They come back to what?
Come back to what? Find them.
You by yourself?
No, me and 50 of them.
No, those dudes, like 40 of them know them.
So?
Yeah.
So it's not.
Whoa,
If
hold up,
anything
hold
is
up.
gonna be
No.
squashed, if
Wait,
anything
no.
is gonna be
Also,
squashed,
No.
the most accessible gun that could get you like that was maybe the Tech with the air holes or the Uzi.
Wait, you just
You had
said
to be about something to get. All
you
that.
just said the 30 niggas that robbed me, the 40 niggas that I bring back knew the 30 niggas.
Some of them,
Some
they
of them,
might,
yeah.
yeah.
And they gotta fight.
No, it ain't no
No,
fighting.
no.
No, it's either gonna get squashed,
Or you.
Well, they better
or
fight
you
by
might get
squashing
your.
it.
And it depends on how big your clout is.
Oh.
You'll get your shit back. You
I'm
might,
getting my shit back.
you might get your shit
No,
back
I'm getting
depending
my
on
shit
who. There y'all think
Yo, y'all
Or you
went
can
through?
shoot the fair one.
Oh yeah, y'all should have failed one.
Shoot 5 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that.
I kill him. Y'all went through that?
Why you do that?
His school, maybe these two had school. My
Where the
school
hell did
was.
y'all go to school at?
He went to Tech.
Well, even before Tech, I went to Schuyler, so that was in Bushwick.
Oh,
you went to-
That was
wow.
Bushwick High School.
Wait, you
that
went
used to happen every day.
See,
Every day. I didn't make it past sixth grade, man.
And all that. Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't know what Skylar had.
Y'all might as well just walk with a gun.
Yeah, you take a specialized middle school and you put in the middle of the hood back in '91. This is Dave Dinkins, man.
God, I wasn't even born.
Yeah.
He wasn't even born.
That was a specialized middle school.
Yeah. They got rid of all those schools now.
My 11. That was a specialized middle school too, right?
Which one?
My 11.
I think Twain. Well, I know when I was going to school, Schuyler was one, and Mark Twain was
See,
one.
I don't
I
know.
heard of Mark Twain.
All of these schools, I don't know if they even exist anymore because now they put like 3-4 schools.
Yeah.
With
They
some
be
Lachlan and all this.
yeah, they boxing in one building and all that shit.
And speaking of schools, this is a dope segue to talk about my
Exactly.
man
Yeah.
and about what he's.
Exactly. There you go.
That's a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit that
Very well.
That was the alley-oop, kid.
there you go.
Rondo style, Rondo. But yeah, let everybody know what your organization is about.
Gymnasium.
Yeah, KB. Yeah.
KB Gymnasium, Kids Brain Gymnasium, man. So this thing is very personal for me, man. So before I got into finance and doing all this entrepreneurial stuff, man, believe it or not, I used to be a teacher, man. Really
What?
didn't know- yeah.
You?
Yeah, I was a social studies teacher teaching in the South Bronx, man.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
South Bronx.
You went to school to be a teacher?
The dirty ass.
Well, actually, I went to school to play football, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I was a college football player, and I wasn't Justin Tuck or Michael Strahan, a little bit too short. And so it didn't work out, so I didn't know what I wanted to do, man. And I thought about, the most impactful individuals in my life, and it was like my football coaches, my teachers. So I got down with the Teach for America bit, man. And I
you
was
did Teach for America
yeah,
thing?
commuting down in the South Bronx, man.
wow.
Brother, y'all.
Yeah,
Come on now.
yeah.
That's what's
Give it
up.
up. Give it up.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Now, kids with brains.
yeah, what's that about?
Yeah.
Look,
that's
man.
a beautiful title right there.
Yeah, man, look, I mean, that's common sense. Everybody has a brain, right? And so our belief is this, right? And this is personal for me, going back to that point, and one of the reasons why I left the school system was like, and we all knew how we were growing up, right? It was not permissible to be talking in classrooms. Everyone sat in a single aisle, right?
Yeah.
The smartest kid in the class was the kid that could, recite some senseless fact, like what's the
he
capital
always
of
sit in the
Kansas?
front.
He
Yeah.
sit in the front, right? And that kid was not smart, but think about where we at right now in the world, right? I could go to Google or Yahoo and get information in a nanosecond, right?
So easily.
Right, so everything they was basically drilling to us was content, right? the world's changed, right?
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do. I'm sorry, brother.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So what we're really trying to do, right, is we're trying to step away from this content. We're trying to teach kids to be critical thinkers, right?
There we go.
How to communicate, how to collaborate. How many smart dudes you know that they just don't know how to get along with people, man? I don't even like that dude.
Socially.
Right? Yeah. So, so what we're doing is this concept you probably hear us throwing around is called executive function, right? Okay. Executive function, self-regulation skills. And basically what that is, man, everybody here has set goals, right? And you look at the end of the year, or you maybe look at the end of your workday, like, why didn't I accomplish my goals? And kids have goals, right? So when we talk about executive function, we're talking about planning, we're talking about focusing, right? We're talking about stimuli, right? So there's a lot of distractions in the world. You got to be able to pick up on what those distractions are and fend them off, as you like to say, right?
Yes, sir.
You got to fend them off, and then we talk about cognitive flexibility, and that's being able to be fluid and move back and forth. I started this one task, and then my mom's called me. I got to do something else, but I got to be able to come back and flip to that.
Cognitive flexibility.
That's right, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do, man. So we got what we call our amped up philosophy.
Definitely want to get that.
Is it an acronym? Is it the acronym?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an acronym, man, and it really dovetails itself with executive function and what each letter for that acronym stands for. A is attention, right? That's necessary.
Definitely.
M is for memory, right? P is for process of information. E is for engagement of others. So can you get along? Can you collaborate? D is for development of solutions, right? We're in a world right now where, like I said, a plethora of information, right?
Yeah.
You got to be able to figure out which information is vital and necessary to solve a specific problem, right? It's like a quadratic equation. We just listen to Wu-Tang, right? So, straight mathematics.
That's right.
We got use of rules, right? You got to understand the rules, but not only understand the rules, know how to manipulate the rules. If you see those cats at the top of the house, that's what they're doing, right? They know how to manipulate rules and use it to their advantage, right? And then, P, the most important thing for all of us cats is patience and persistence right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to put that in kids, man, because too many shorties, they're getting up and they flexing and they can't come back. They get upset. They can't handle, man. That's what we're trying to build.
What
age, bosses.
I was about to ask the same
What
thing.
age group is the focus? Or do you even have a bracket?
No, we definitely do have a bracket, right? You got to look at the market. You got to segment it, right? You all heard the terminology that kids are sponges, right?
Yeah.
Kids are malleable, right? So we want to get to them early, man. And like I said, this is personal for me. I got 2 little girls. Good night, Channing Layton. Hopefully you guys, you're daddy and Lord, and you go to bed, right? I love you guys very much. And, I thought about them, and they're malleable, right? They change. Like, I had my kid in this program that we created December 7th. She'd come to the crib. We used to just whip out the iPad, and the iPad today is television, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it, but I understand it.
You get it, right?
Because they're trying to substitute that screen time in schools now.
Man, there's a lot of crazy
smart boarding.
Yeah.
But that's all.
But then you got. Sorry to interrupt. I work with kids over there. I work 3 and 4 year olds. These 3 and 4 year olds got their own damn iPad.
Yeah, I heard they like to take them home and everything.
No, yeah, the mothers is bringing it to them, but they just bringing it to them because they want them to be quiet and they don't want them to be itching and moaning or whatever. Right. But it's nothing educational on that iPad. It's all actual games and YouTube and all that.
See, but I mean, as a parent also, there's a thin line between something educational and just getting them to just be like, yo.
No, I understand that, but I'm talking about all the way to a point where you got an iPad or or a fucking tablet for him for 3 to 4, and he know how to work it.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be telling Mr. John what's on YouTube. I know how to get there. He shouldn't be telling me that he don't know how to write his name on his ABC.
And this is the kids that's in Europe.
And
this is what 3 to 5
kindergarten, universal pre-K. No, come on.
He's in that educational field as well.
Yeah, I work at a daycare.
Yeah.
But it's like y'all giving it to them just to be quiet and just like disregard what they're going through. But it's like that's teaching them, and they don't know to spell their name yet. Like, come on.
Yeah. They don't know how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen something real funky, right? I had a friend of mine who was a teacher, right? And she was talking about that there was like a dance for 7th graders. Right, you have the school dance.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, not for 7th grade. It used to be like the 8th grade.
8th grade,
but not 7th grade, because that's it's like the senior dance.
Nah, well, see, let me tell you, break it down. So 8th grade, you're right. Yeah. They had the dance in like the gymnasium.
Yeah.
But 6th and 7th grade be in the classroom. You know what I mean? Yeah, they bring up classroom. They bring the classroom soda, cupcakes, that kind of thing.
Usually
like
do that for somebody's birthday.
Yeah, I was gonna say for
birthday party.
And she was tripping. She was like, you had boys on one side, girls on the other side,
still goes
and
on.
texting each other like, hey, you want to dance?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, they
No,
texted if you want
no.
That's the nuance.
I can't even call that a millennial thing. I don't know what that is.
That's definitely not.
That's-
Because I don't do that.
That's social awkwardness.
I'm walking up
And that's
to
why
her.
in your
That's what
amped
it's
up, your amped up situation, the philosophy in the middle of it is the processing of information.
That's right.
Right.
You know, which is very important because information is flying at you so rapidly. You got to be able to disseminate what's real and what's not.
Right.
Or what you need or what you don't
What you
need.
need and don't need.
Exactly. I mean, attention, I think, is a big thing too, especially with these kids. I mean, but I think a lot of it is not their fault.
It's not.
Because of the fact that is a lot of information coming, and your attention span is everybody's attention span. I think even some of us as adults, attention span has shortened as years went on. Musically, everything, visually, everything. You know, it's hard to get us to sit down and just focus on one thing. Like I remember when I went back to school maybe about 5-6 years ago. I was like, you know, this is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is that I actually did better when I went back to school in my late 30s than I did when I was younger. But
Because you have to pay for that shit if you mess
maybe
up.
that's why what it was. But I thought that attention was going to be my problem as far as being able to be like, okay, I could sit here for a whole 2.5 hours with this class, and I thought that was going to be a problem because you know that's just the thing nowadays, and they diagnose young kids nowadays so easily with what is it?
ADHD.
Yes.
Yeah.
ADHD, like
Diagnose it
easily.
Quick for that.
And sometimes it's not even about that. Sometimes it's just, you know. And like I said, I went to a certain point as far as being a teacher, and I stopped because my son was born, and I kind of grabbed. I'm thinking about. I'm definitely want to go back or do something in that field. But a lot of it is just testing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's just some people just not great at
I'm
testing.
horrible
That
at
doesn't
testing.
make you
Exactly.
dumb.
Yo,
It just means that you just need a little bit more time.
Hold on. I got a story.
Yeah.
Got a story. Because that testing shit is like
It's over, and it's mad overrated.
It will kill your spirit. It will kill your momentum. I was one of the best students in my school, right? I wasn't a great test taker. My Regis wasn't all that. I did the class participation, my homework, quizzes, everything was good, right?
Yeah.
This is on the verge of graduating college. Graduating high school, going to college, a college tour, right? I had all the credentials for this one college that I wanted. I think it was A&T, right? But they said my SAT scores wasn't it. I'm like, but damn, I got all these certificates from like the men's and all this shit. I got all these letters of recommendation. I got all these grades. But you gonna judge me off of one fucking score? I was like, yo, school not for me. Because there's no way in the world you want to turn me with all these fucking accolades that I got, but just one score? Yo, I felt so bad.
Now multiply your experience 100 times or
Yeah,
100,000 times.
And you know what's crazy? I came back home and I told my mother and my father, I was like, yo, I don't want to go back to school because everybody looking at me as a number.
They beat your ass?
No, they ain't beat my
Oh,
ass.
it's okay.
No.
Oh,
My-
don't get those-
A Caribbean parent would have beat your ass.
Yo, iPad carry.
they didn't beat my ass because on my father's side, I believe I was the first one that was going to college.
Okay.
Right? So my pops understood that. My mom was like, all right, you could figure it out, but you're gonna do something. So I started working, that from that. But when I found something I was able to do, like I was comfortable with or whatever, that's when the Art Institute came into my life, and I went there for graphic design and all that shit. But they didn't look at that. I was mad because I felt like it was the prison system. How you identify the prisoner? By a number.
It's facts.
We're gonna break it down.
Like, what the-
Yeah, I got the science.
Like, come on. So I didn't like the
Can
fact.
you build on the
Yeah,
concept
what
of prison?
Yeah.
Pre-K to prison pipeline?
Yeah, facts, right? Because we all know that they utilize that test in the 3rd grade, right?
Facts.
To determine,
Yup.
to forecast how many prisons to build. That's a
No
fact.
way. For real?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude, it's very political. So one
It's
of
a
the
damn
lessons
shame, though.
that I had, I was fortunate to teach social studies. So I had a lot of liberty as far as what I taught my students, right? But unfortunately, you have to abide by the system because I overheard you saying earlier that everything's about testing, right?
Yeah.
So everything's about like let's take actually a step back, right? So y'all all know about the Cold War, 1950s, right? U.S. versus Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Study came out that we were behind, so we just got into this testing culture then the testing culture became about results. It became political. So you got kids, right, where, like you said, you letting this one test really dictate their outcome.
Yeah.
You're forcing teachers to basically teach to the test.
Yup.
So, hey, I could be a level 3 or level 4 because everything in life is about a bell curve, right? That's what I'm saying. But is that kid really ready for that test?
God damn,
right?
you're talking now.
And the fact of the matter is, if we want to talk about how political this is, and schools, the prison system, dude, man, I used to be proud of calling myself a tiger dad, right? Which was, my kid was doing mathnasium and Kumon, stressing them the hell out, the same, because I thought rigor was necessary, right? But that's just not the case, man. Because guess what? What we seen in the public schools that no talking, content. You're the top 1%. Because I tried to get my kids into those independent schools. You got kids, they're not touching a pen or a pencil until like 3rd or 4th grade, man.
Facts.
Are you serious?
So what they're really creating is a culture of leaders, because they're working on all the things that we're talking about with Amped Up, but that's not happening in our public school system, and that's why we're here. We're real revolutionary, man.
Right. Is your curriculum transferable into any program, especially with the charter schools and things of that nature?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? And it's a question about transferable, right? So, like, you come here, like, we're utilizing games, right, to develop those skill sets, right?
Yeah.
And your kid, like, say, for example, we may set up chess, right, but you're not necessarily playing an entire chess game. We create a situation where you got to demonstrate use of rules or patience and persistence, right? So if your question is this transferable, not transferable, maybe not necessarily school, but life, right? Yes. Sports, music, being able to collaborate with others, being able to say, hey, man, this dude right here, he's giving me information that's unnecessary right now. That's just too much information. He or she doesn't understand his audience. I'm going to talk to this man right here because he's going to get me to my destination a lot sooner than that man right there.
Right.
Part of critical thinking.
That's hard. Yeah, I mean, that's something that, at an early age, can they...
Yeah, they get. Dude,
they get all that?
I want to cite this one fact, dude. Right, and I'm not even BSing you, and I know I could because I'm selling too, right? And I'm passionate about this mission, right? But patience and persistence. One example. I said my kid used to come with the iPad all the time. We're not talking, we're not doing anything. So I decided one of the games that we do at KBGymnasium is Legos. Right, so I decided to buy a Lego set.
Yeah.
Yo, let's sit down. Kids, they love their parents. They want to see you working with them, and they want to impress you.
You gotta give them the gratification.
You give them the gratification, right?
Hell yeah.
So my 8-year-old, I have her on Thursday nights. I take her to school every Friday. So it's like 10 o'clock. She's still building, and she's like, she don't want to go to bed. So I'm knocked out. I send her to bed. I go to sleep. My dudes, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Guess what my young is doing?
A whole palace, right?
Dude, I got the photographs and everything like that. It was done. And the girl was smiling from ear to ear, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because she wanted...
Yeah.
So it's a finished project.
It's a finished project.
Yo, and they feel so proud when you acknowledge that.
Confidence.
And like even when you just be like, this ain't nothing, but you can't let them know that. Like, you gotta be their biggest supporter. And they say, don't touch it, don't breathe on it, don't get close to it, don't break it. Because my 3 and 4-year-olds will curse you out if you break that Barbie house that they made.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or my boys be making a little basketball gym and all that. They be like, Mr. John, don't touch that. They be like, yo, this is the bathroom, this is the bedroom, this is to watch TV. Yo, they be so in tune, but it's like, you got to motivate them and get them to something that they like to do to get all that information out. Because versus if it was just like regular pen and paperwork, they're not going to produce. That's boring to them. So you got to be creative to show that, yo, you could actually do that. And then you take them outside, like, yo, this is a construction worker. That stuff that you was doing in class, you could actually do this. You see these person building or whatever, these is our building blocks. This is why we do building blocks in this center or whatever. So you could do that. Nowadays, I think kids got to see it.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely a visual learner.
I was definitely visual.
I'm not a book, because some people could be in the class, not take notes, and they can soak all that shit in, and they can take a tap. I'm not me. I'm
hands-on.
Yeah, I'm hands-on. I need to see certain shit, and I need to raise my hand and talk. And
talk to you after class.
Yeah, that's just my thing.
Yeah.
So respect to all that. So who's involved in this project?
Yeah. So we got a pretty dope squad, man. My man Joe is one of the fathers and co-founders. We have my man Quasi's a co-founder. My homegirl Kylie, PhD out in Virginia. So she's the substance, and I guess I'm the style. You know?
Okay, all right.
So that's what it is. So she keeps us grounded, man. And one thing I want to point out too, fellas, is that it's also a community for parents as well, right?
Oh, really?
So like I said, yeah, definitely, no doubt, man. So like I said, if I pointed out earlier, kids love to see their parents too, right?
Yes.
They love that support that you was talking about. So what we have is called, everything's about the brain, right? We got the cognitive cafe, the cognitive lounge. So parents are downstairs either playing games. You got homework you got to do, mommy. You're a college student, right? You need a break. And you come and do this. You got to go do something else for the family. You can drop your kid off. You have that choice. And we also, we don't get to the point where we grow up and we get third-party vendors to come out there. So if you're into wellness, right, you want to start collaborating with chefs because everything's about the food. I'm gonna tell y'all something. That food is the most important thing, man.
Really?
Dude, man. I've been on something since the beginning of the year, man. My man would tell you that I used to be a big-time drinker, man. And I just turned 40 and I started noticing normal conversations. Dude, I'm just like slow. My reflexes.
No, it's real.
Right? And I cut back and I'm like, because your gut is correlated to your brain. Right? It feeds each other. So I started reading that stuff. So I started taking caffeine pills, eating peanuts, right? Anything, turmeric, anything that's good for the brain, right? So we flex it at the facility. We're offering those kinds of foods too, man. So, definitely, this is a great thing, man. It's a great thing.
You expand the palate, more sensations in the brain start to
and that's amazing, It's crazy because I was just watching, I hate to go off topic, but I was just watching Dr. Manhattan and the whole Watchmen shit and the knowledge. But like I said, it's all about, like you said, the brain and everything. But I want also, I know you said that a couple of the founders were two of your boys, and one female. But I know that you told me that this was based off of you guys' fathers. Was didn't have no place for their kids to go. Y'all all sat down. Y'all just elaborate more on the whole. I don't want to say single fathers, but all the fathers singles.
You know what? 2 out of 3 of us are single, right? Okay. And the third one, he stays far away from me, so he doesn't have to be single.
Who you hanging out with?
You hanging out with?
Yeah, you're not hanging out with
him. Bad guy. Yeah, you're not the wingman tonight.
Not the wingman at all.
Exactly.
No alleys for you.
No, but it's strictly business. So look, man, you learn by doing, right? Yeah. And so, shout out to the mothers out there. At least our kids' mothers, they definitely take the lead. But I'm a single dad, and my other partner's a single dad. And so we flex every other weekend, and we're always looking for things to do for our kids, right? Whether it's the park or playground. But the smarter the kid is like, damn, dude, you taking us to the same spot. Like they want to be the tour guide at the museum, and I'm shelling out $50. Right. So one day we were at my boy's house in Bed-Stuy, and the kids, we started a little chess club. The kids in the front playing chess. Then all of a sudden the parents started talking, and we kind of created this community. 5 turned to 10, 10 turned to 20. It's like Voltron. Right? And so we just said, man, I think, the thing went through different iterations. What are we? We're talking about professional play days. Like, no. That's weak, right? We want to create something that's not easily replicated. You can easily replicate, right? We want to franchise this thing. We want this to be something where the lessons, right? Because you ain't seeing this in those schools. You probably seen some schools, but in the schools that I talked about earlier that we can't afford, and it's 10 kids in each classroom, and I was told no on numerous occasions. Imagine telling Mike, she was 5 at the time, like, yo, you interviewed for 6 or 7 independent schools, and it's a no. Right. And so my man's point, fast forward to when you were like 17, 18, you got that SAT score and you got your backpack to go to A&T, fabulous school, and they're telling you no. Right, we got to get away from that line of thinking. So we
started dream deferred, and you lose that enthusiasm.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Going back to that little story too. That's the only school that I wanted to go to. Like I could have got accepted to all the other schools because they would have took, but I wanted to challenge myself. So it was low key like. It was like, how they say you don't want to meet like your favorite idol or like your hero or whatever because it might not be like what you want it to be or whatever. Yeah. I felt that at that moment. I'm like, damn, like we had a chance to go to 10 colleges and I said, no, this is that one because I don't want to be distracted. I don't want my attentions to go to that one. A&T, that's the one. And when that one fell, I was like, fuck college. This shit is not for me. So I could have got accepted to 5 of those other non-schools, but that wasn't my motivation to do
like
that.
Plan A.
Yeah, it was like plan A and fuck B through Z.
How do y'all feel about that?
It could work, and you're still upstanding citizen.
By the way, I regret it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I definitely regret it because I regret not going away to college because I had that opportunity, but because I was just so gun ho to do that, I didn't expand all my options.
Did you have someone in your life to say what you just said? back then.
Yeah, I did, but I was.
But you didn't listen.
I didn't listen because I knew I was kind of cocky too. Like I knew I was going to get into it because you couldn't tell me like my credentials. Like I wasn't that great of a student, but my community work, all that extracurriculum activities, I was A+ with that shit. So you couldn't tell me I wasn't going there.
Oh, okay.
So I was like gun ho motivated. Like for example, is the NBA or not the NBA? Like you couldn't tell me it wasn't the NBA for me. I was going to the NBA.
Yeah, you no overseas.
No, none of that
no
shit. I was
G
going to the
League,
NBA. No, you couldn't tell me that.
I mean, that mindset is good to have, because it's a direction and it's dedicated.
But that reality check when you young, you like fuck.
I think there should be a G League for schools like that.
Yeah.
Like if I can't get over there should be something I can like.
Yeah, because a lot of NBA dudes. I mean, I don't want to go back to the basketball reference. A lot of dudes didn't get accepted to the colleges they wanted to go to. They had to start off in the junior college.
Right. But see,
then they blew up. They made their name in the junior college, and then they went off and then went to Sean Kemp was a good example. A lot of cats did that.
It was that with the school too, but they said I couldn't even get into the summer bridge program because my SAT scores were still fucked up for that. So it's like, damn, you don't even want to help me out.
And all that
like,
with the SAT.
it was just that score. Like I think they wanted, say if they wanted like a 1200, I probably got a 1054, and they couldn't do nothing with it. I'm like,
you probably needed $500,000 to do like them Hollywood folks.
Hello.
Yeah, man, that's a whole nother story.
It's still going on.
Yeah.
And other groups do it as well. Don't get
Really?
Not everybody we think is like the smartest mathematicians are. Nah, they got that leverage of money.
Yeah.
To get you to the access.
Yeah.
To get that education, right? So, with your program, usually programs like this favor a lot of at-risk youth. I don't like to use the term, but that's the term that's used in order to get that money, right?
That's
You know how they do it. You know how they play out here.
Gotta put a title on it.
Right.
Have you directed your program to those type of outlets?
Yeah, brother. So, like everything we talked about goals, right? So we have long-term, medium-term, short-term goals, right? Starting with the short-term, right? So right now we're competing directly with those programs that I mentioned, the Mathnasium, Kumon, that kind of stuff like that, right? Okay. And the way we beat them, right? Those guys are coming, like I said, that's rote memorization, right? When the system break, they don't, a kid can't figure out the problem, right? This ain't math in English, right? So that's $300 a month, right? We come in at so those, like I said, and I'm not here to be critical of those places, right? They definitely had it was definitely well intended, but what it really did it widened the achievement gap by increasing the affordability gap, right? So yeah, is there a price associated with this? Yeah, definitely a price associated with it, right? But what we're looking to do is, and this is why, finance cats or whoever, reading and all that stuff comes into play. We're going to come up with a foundation pretty soon, right? We're trying to aim for that maybe at the end of this year, beginning of next year, right? Where we have a concept of give one or buy one, give one, right? So in the sense that I may have, we start a class as $30.
Yeah.
Basically, I could buy one for a child who's disadvantaged from an impoverished community who could definitely benefit from amped up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you on a net basis because you're contributing to a foundation, you get that as a 501c tax write-off.
Oh, really?
So you're paying the same math, right? Today I just basically kicked in with the school, PS20, my daughter's school, my two daughters' school, and we're in conversation with them about coming up with a hybrid program, right? So we have kids that could afford that bread to come to our facility, but then what we want to also do is bring KBGymnasium to public schools, so partner with the PTAs, right? So look, man, like I said, this is all about solving problems and come up with multiple solutions, and we're trying to turn this education game upside down, man.
Yes, and make it affordable as well as a resource.
Absolutely.
A resource. Do you take donations?
Me personally, or KB Yeah, look, man.
The Cash App.
Yeah, so that's a good point, man. We right now this is completely self-funded, right? So it's between my partners and I, very self-funded.
Is that by choice?
Yeah, by choice, man. We wanted that flexibility. There's some sense of empowerment where you don't have to answer to anyone, right? A lot of times, especially as smart people, man, you tend to overanalyze things, and next thing you know, you don't end up flexing and doing anything, right? So we're like, look, you learn by doing. So we went out, we're doing it. So every Sunday,
failing too,
we got and by failing, you learn from this.
Trial and error.
Trial and error. So we do this pop-up. The pop-up concludes, we start January 26th.
Oh, nice.
We've been doing special invites in December.
Nice.
January 26th, the pop-up ends March 1st, and then we're ready to go full bore, man. Nice. So we're talking about after school, we're talking about Saturdays and Sundays, and then, like I said, we want to make this a franchise. So you think about your White Castles, your McDonald's, right? We're trying to create wealth in our communities as well, right? So when we get to that point where we need to raise funding, man, I'll be back on the air.
What's up?
Yeah, be back here on the block.
Yeah,
Man.
go.
Back on the block.
Appreciate it, man.
That's what's
for
up.
real, man. I saw something. I was kind of confused. I mean, I just want you to break it down. I saw something dealing with sports, and I saw the word gymnasium.
Yeah.
So, where? First of all, where is it? Is it a gym?
Yeah.
Like, let's break it down.
Break it down.
Yeah,
Break it
yeah.
down.
KBGymnasium.
Yeah, so we might have thought ourselves in this, but this is really straight simple, right? It's literally a gym for the mind, right? So if you think about your Soul Cycle, your Planet Fitness, you got different workouts, right? So
Yeah.
what I like to tell people, you ain't coming here to play chess. You ain't here to come play Connect 4. You ain't coming to play Tangram. That may happen, right? But it's like, well, I have a personal trainer, for say. I want to work on my buys today. Dude, I'm going to walk in there. I know I'm working on buys, but I don't know what kind of exercises he got for me.
Yeah.
Same thing with conditioning. I may be doing box jumps, or he may be telling me to go run 5 miles. You never know what to expect, but you know what muscle in the brain that we're
Could
working.
be working today, yeah.
Right? And it's similar like a gym, it's a subscription, right? So you're a member.
Okay.
That's just really where it came from, man.
Gotcha.
So we literally, our saying is, we do for the mind what gyms do for the physique.
Okay.
So with that being said, right? Let's use the gym example, right?
Yeah.
You say as a trainer, like sometimes a trainer know what you need to work on, like before you even say it. Like how do you I guess analyze the kids' like strengths and weaknesses, or what they should like tune in, or the stuff that you want to get out of them, or you want to drop into them? Like how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? And I wish Kylie was here to bail me out, so I'm gonna do the best I can.
Oh,
Kylie
shit.
right into the show.
Or you just going by what the parents say.
I'll go by what the parents say, right? So look, we have great instructors. We call them brain coaches,
Nice.
right? And our kids are brain
Yes, G.
leads. You know what I mean? So we'll
brain
say
leads, okay.
Brain leads. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so, parents, if you go to the website, we have different levels to this stuff, right? Like, so it could be like KBME, and we're just working on memory and engagement, right? So it's like day one, right? Like, each kid has a folder. We're utilizing a camera,
Yeah.
right? So let's say we're playing Legos, right? And a class is only 45 to 50 minutes in duration,
Yeah.
right? Like, so week 1 to week 2, week 3, you might be struggling a little bit. You may want to quit. But the reason why we're utilizing imagery is like when you want to quit, we're able to show you, like, look, Layton,
Look at the progress.
look what the progress you're doing.
Yeah.
It's about stamina in life, right? So that's kind of how we do it, man. And, we get the kids to reflect at the beginning of class. How you feeling, right? Because how you feel is going to dictate your mind, right? So they're utilizing stickers. The older kids are utilizing words, right? Then at the end of class, they're also going into a breakdown and a reflection. Our whole thing's about mindfulness.
That shit is so real about how a kid is feeling as far as what they're going to be doing. Because I know, like I said, I was after school director for many years. I was also a counselor, and I was never big on this, but the other counselors used to do it, mostly the women, and they were also, it's like one of the first questions you would ask the kids when they come in from after school is, hey, how was your day?
Yeah.
Right.
And do you realize
That
how
shit means
important
a lot.
How important that is to kids?
That means a lot, and you better listen too.
And because some of them have a lot to get off their chest, man. And the thing was, like I said, I did an after school program, and we had to realize that a lot of them, I don't want to say hate school, or they, they sometimes they get into a certain mode in school, and they come to us after school to release.
Yeah.
So sometimes they act out, but it's not because they want to; it's just because it's a release.
But you know what's even crazier? They don't got that at home. Sometimes
that's what it is.
Interact
Yeah.
with them from let's say if school start at 8 and they do after school from 8 to 7. They looking forward to hearing you, seeing your reactions or whatever, having your ear, because it's like you parenting
It's
them.
different,
And it's crazy because you only seeing them 5 days a week, but they look forward
for like 2, 3, and some for like 3 hours, 2, 3 hours, and these teachers have them for 7.
Exactly.
But it doesn't matter because those little 2, 3 hours you have with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even about the hour. Sometimes I could sit down with a kid for like 12 minutes while they're getting their lunch, and I'll sit down with them and we start talking about anything. It means they open up so much, man. I've had so many conversations with young women, young girls, young boys, and they get so personal with you, and it makes me feel good that they feel that comfortable.
Yeah,
to talk
they got
to
that
you.
connection.
But that's why it's just very necessary as far as asking them how their day was and just letting them know that you do that you care.
Two things, right? That's why I feel like in this like arena that we in, you can never put a price on it because the impact is way bigger than the price.
Never.
But see, this is the second part, right? And it might sound fucked up for asking this question, but like when I was growing up, my mother always said, me and your pops is your first teachers, right? So we want to make sure that you're good, right? Meaning that depends on how you go out, how you look, make sure you know the right from wrong or whatever. This might sound crazy, but do y'all think parents really care about their kids now? Because parents just throw their kids out any type of way, no matter how they look. They don't care how they think, how they talk, and all that shit. It's like they just fiending to throw them into the daycares. Or just to drop them off in school because they just want to break or whatever. Like, how y'all feel about that?
I want to interject a little bit. And I don't want to.
Please.
I try to stay clear from generalizations, right? But I do. That is true, right? Like what I did see in the South Bronx, right? Where 75% of my kids were. But I won't even say, like I said, generalization. The whole Bronx. I was in the South Bronx, right? Where I was in a school, and I like what you guys are saying about the after school stuff. You guys realize that funding is being stripped away from these schools. So where these outlets? So we were reminiscing earlier. That's why I love this show because it's a good contrast between us old school cats and the young cats here, right? Sir. And growing up, man, in the hood, my parents, they were there. They worked hard. They instilled values. So because it's a socioeconomic thing, right? My mom had to work 2 jobs, right? So it was great to have that middle school. It was great to have that that extracurricular enrichment program, right? And I'll keep it 100 with you. Like football saved my life.
Oh, I can
believe that.
Sports, you don't realize how much sports is a big factor.
Because you could have had all that stress into something negative, and you could have been behind bars a day.
And
you could just knock a nigga out and be okay with it and pick him up, but not doing it to hurt him.
Right.
That's the best part about that.
And educators are like the extended parenting.
Yeah. And see, that's a problem too. Like you don't know. Like, see, this is what I got a problem with me being a teacher assistant, right? Working with 3 or 4 year olds. As a teacher, you can only do so much, but sometimes you say, fuck that title. If that kid need a sheet or he need a blanket or he need a new set of clothes, I'm going outside to do it. I'm not supposed to do that, but like that just kicks in. And it's not like saying that the parent is not like doing what they got to do, but sometimes a kid need that extra love, that extra attention that don't fall under a teacher head. And sometimes parents, when you say that to parents, they feel some type of way. So you saying I can't do that? You saying this, that, and that? But I'm like, I'm with your son and your daughter from 8 to 4, from Monday through Friday. They telling me, they telling me what's going on. And like you said, not to be disrespectful, I spend more time with them than you do. So I'm like, I'm helping you out. But if the same stuff not being taught at home, like how it's being taught in the classroom, we're gonna have a problem.
But how is it? See, that's a great point. How is it taught at home? Because what you're finding is like, baby, there's a saying in my culture, babies making babies.
Right.
So if you're not fully developed now, and you're the child, grandma 36, grandma gotta hit the club too.
There's no way in the world you should tell me how you got him to sit down and write his name. What you mean? How I got him to sit? You his mother. How you don't know how to do that?
This is where parent-teacher conferences come into play.
That's true.
And then going to say
that's it. You got it.
Which is like the hardest thing to do. When you see it, man, especially like I go to my son's school and I see another brother there, another 2 brothers there. We give the head nod like, how you doing?
I'm very much present in my kids' life.
Just to let you know. Yeah.
Facts.
So your program, is it up and launching like right now? Officially?
So right now, thank you. That's a perfect one. So every Sunday, if you log on to our website, here's a shameless plug.
No shameless. Get in.
I feel like you almost got to say that.
Nah, plug it in. Drop your knowledge.
If you go to www.KBGymnasium.com, right, and you can register basically. You can see our class schedule. So right now it's every Sunday.
Okay.
We have different classes. Class start at 10. Each class runs about 45 minutes to an hour intervals, right? The last class concludes at 4:30. So you can basically book a class, right? We recommend because of the age range of these kids, and you don't want them to be a full day. We never want us to be owners or parents. Kids are learning through play, right?
Yeah.
We freaking on them. They don't even know that they leave in here smarter and better.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that's the best part. It
just be happening. It's just dropping science on everybody, right? So you take a class, you take 2 classes, and you can buy like a gym, you can buy a class pass, or you can at some point be subscribed for 4 or 5 classes, right? And that's how you do it, man. Every Sunday, and like I said, if this goes well, which I don't see why not, man. we're gonna roll it out Saturdays and Sundays. Then we're gonna work after school.
Nice.
And so KBGymnasium.com, we're offering a 50% discount right now.
Right now.
On the first class.
That's great.
So website's open. We pay for a good service, and hopefully it don't crash, because
I can see this actually replicated in many states, and there's a lot of concerned individuals out there. They just want a place to go. Now you can actually facilitate that with these brothers' philosophy. You know what I'm saying? That's dope.
Is there anything? I mean, I know this is because we are still here on the block. Is there anything dealing with music in the programs right now?
That's a great question. There's no music, although we do say that there's a correlation between our executive functions and music, right? But right now there is no music.
No music program. Nobody.
Not right now. But here's the thing, right? If you think about the taxonomy, right? High level. If you notice, I said earlier, you're not coming to play a specific game, right? We're working on one of those those acronyms, right? And music easily can partake in one of those games.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to crawl before you walk, right?
Yeah.
It's easy for us to. We have the games that we grew up and love. We reimagine it. We flip it out. We develop our own games. But then similarly too, we could actually drop a music thing in, man. This is a community.
And there's so many. And I'm saying that because there's so many different angles you can go when it comes to music. Whether it's teaching kids how to read music, how to write music,
How to
DJing.
music.
This, like I said, there's so many different things, and and it's all part of learning. And and I know that just because you're learning this, that how it pertains to life as a whole.
That's right.
And I'm saying that because playing ball, basketball, and you don't realize the correlation between basketball and life. And my coach used to always tell me, and I even have, my school didn't have no sports. My school had intramurals. So a guy used to come to our school, teach us after school about basketball, because our school, they sold the field, they sold their football field, they sold
bowling.
Yeah, we had chess. All we had was chess. Because my school was an acting school. All we had was chess, and he used to come to the school, and then before we would roll out any balls, everybody sit down in the gym, and he just start talking about shit in life. And a lot of the other dudes, shout out to my man Kilkenny, Colin.
C, what up, C?
Colin didn't want to hear none of that.
Yo, give me the ball.
He just want the ball. Whereas me and Ray Love,
what up, Ray?
We would soak in and sit down and it became to the point where he looked more like a father figure.
So
to
some
us.
Coach Carter stuff.
Yeah, because he was teaching us more about, this is setting a pick or teamwork, how all that coincides with how you look at life and stuff like that. So that's why I was saying that. And that's why I think sports and I think music, both of them are very big in as far as how you how you
process information.
You know what's crazy? I wish
amped up.
This is the crazy part. I wish everything that you said was taught in college, because I think college don't teach you nothing at all.
I don't want to say nothing,
but like, because you gotta think about it, right?
Well,
I think college is a setup, right? Say you're doing business, or say you want to do retail or whatever. You get your degree. You go for the job. They say you need a year or 2 years of experience. How? I just got out. So I'm already at it. I'm already at a disadvantage. Then I gotta pay you back like $40,000 or like $100 and some change or whatever, depending on what college I'm going. Like, it's a scam.
Well, there's the robotic cookie cutter industry of college.
Yes.
And then there's the character building socialization.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, brother.
And then, like my girl was saying, you should have took advantage of the what's the program they have while you in school and you could work?
The
co-ops and
work study program.
That's
work
study. And I think that's important. I think that's another thing we need to teach kids too. Once they get into college, is if you can work, do some work study.
Definitely do that.
They get a trade.
They think about, but a lot of these, I hate to say it, a lot of these younger kids is all about money. Money, immediate money. And you have to crawl, like you said, crawl before you walk, and you have to learn before you.
Fuck walking, they want to run.
They want rims.
Two good points.
Early.
If we start to talk about that in college, it's a little too late, right? We got to start talking about that.
Absolutely right.
Junior high school.
Super, man. Even before that, man.
Before
elementary.
Let me tell you what I do. I got 2 piggy banks for my kids, right?
Nice.
And I'm like, I always challenge them. Are you a spender or are you a taker? Are you a business owner or are you a consumer? Right?
Yeah.
So my thing, I do like a matching program with them. Right? You do a chore, you get an allowance.
All right.
Okay.
To the extent, Christmas time comes around, I'll match you 1 for 1. What you got?
Oh.
That's what you do. You got
You use a
Then you
current
got
card?
to.
Sorry?
Current card.
No, I heard about that. And I don't like the fees that they charge you a monthly fee.
Yeah,
What's that?
you
What's
do.
that?
What's that?
Still
Nah,
a good system, man. I can't
You like
front.
it? Look,
Yeah.
you gotta do. You do something.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying
Something.
if you wait until college, because what I want to point out, my brother, we really control the way how colleges operate, right? We're the ones that's spending for college. We're the ones that can help dictate curriculum. But if you
That's
go in
true.
there as a sponge and you just letting them dictate what you need to learn, then it's too late,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it's crazy that you gotta realize that at that level and that point in your life.
Yeah, but believe me, there was those cats that we worked for.
Yep.
They got that lesson.
They
They
knew.
taught.
They knew.
It's different, some of
They
them.
don't give out all the information. It's true. They don't, man. They
Most of the
don't.
people on the top just came from generational wealth.
Yeah.
So their educational experience
Yeah.
is different.
Yeah.
Like you said, they'll go to Thailand and learn.
Yeah.
Come back. That's the education.
The analogy I like to give people is architects and bricklayers, right?
Oh, okay. There we go.
Right?
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys
break
have
that
great
down.
You guys have great
Break that
ideas. Look, you could come up with a great idea. I want to build the Taj Mahal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could have mapped that out. I know what we need, right? From a foundation standpoint, but I can't do it myself. I got to get people that I could pay $8 or $9 an hour.
Right.
Right? That's what our society is predicated on. That's what it's built on.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And I hate to throw
fine.
them under the bus,
Throw them under
but
the bus.
no,
Throw 'em.
public school system versus private,
yeah.
versus Catholic. I mean, I've heard people tell me I would never send my kid to no public school. And it's because of like we talked about what they learn on that level, and I mean it's sad to say that, and I mean I remember me sometimes me and my girl would sit down and talk, and I was like, I never knew that. She was like, what? You didn't know that? We learned that back in 4th and 5th. I'm like, word? I learned that in
I had
high
conversations
school.
like that.
You know what I'm saying? And it just shows you that the system out here is they're all down the same.
Because
page.
like a prime example, I went to a school. It was like a Catholic school, right? Private school, right? But when the whole Central Park 5 joint went down, everybody was like, "Oh my God, I never knew." I'm like, I knew this since I was like in 3rd grade.
You knew that?
They was teaching me this or whatever. So it was like just because they wanted you to know that, like they wasn't following a curriculum. They was just telling you stuff that you should know.
Of course.
So when people was talking, I'm like, you ain't know that? Like, you ain't know about the whole allegations and everything? And I was shocked. Like, grown people was like, no. I'm like, whoa. So it's like you don't know when you advance until you in a conversation with somebody and be like, yo, I didn't know that. It's like, oh, wow. Like, I'm real fortunate for doing that. Even though it was a uniform-based school, even though they was strict as hell or whatever, like, that was like an upgrade.
So you got a methodology.
Yeah. Like, it's some shit that I know about. Like, I know about my kings and queens in Africa and all that. And before slavery, we
That's
was
good. That's
we
good
was
that
great
you
and all
know
that.
that.
Like, nobody, some people don't really know that. The
I'm
average
not-
person,
yeah,
the
yeah,
average person
I'm
don't
one of
know
those
that.
people. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right.
I know about the motherland and the diamonds and the pyramids and all that. I know that because they was teaching us that damn near since kindergarten because that was a part of their curriculum.
Now with KBGymnasium, it's a conducive for homeschooling.
That's a great question. Transferability,
There you go.
right?
Yeah.
So again, if a parent wants to take a class with a kid because you don't know how to play chess, because your kid now has a passion for chess,
That's
you can
nice.
sign up for a class and you can do it.
Yeah, that's nice.
The parent can sign up,
Yeah,
or you sign up with them.
No, a parent can sign up individually and take a class with other parents, or they can take a class with their kid.
Wonderful.
So it's the parents signed up and the kids signed up.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, that's I think that part of your whole program is so unique and dope.
That's a
The
dope
fact
combo.
that the parents can sign up,
Yeah.
or be there, like you said, you can drop the kids, but they're still there,
Right.
and they learn. That I think that shit is so dope.
Because it's like you engaging them and you holding them responsible.
And once kids see that you are that you want to be around, or you over there having fun too, or you over there doing your thing, that gives them more energy to do better.
Yeah, creates a beautiful light.
Beautiful connection.
We just laying seeds down, man. And then when you lay seeds down, winter passes, spring comes, you don't know how it's gonna bloom. That kid made me have the confidence now that I'm gonna play some basketball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up the saxophone and play music.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna get into coding.
I'm gonna get into coding.
It's ill because I mean
That's what I like.
the age group you said you focus on what 5
5 to 10 years old.
and you also work with
From I do 3 to 4, but the mentoring program do 8 to 18. And so it's basically from 3 basically to 21 because I'm into dudes that's 21, like so 25.
At these ages, these early ages, damn, how is the attention span with these kids?
It's like you gotta, like, for example, like see with my mentoring program, right? Like with my,
because I don't have, I mean, I have patience, but
right.
I'm like, damn, I gotta do.
See, so it's like we call them baby boys from the ages like 8 to what we say, Q, like 8 to 10, 8 to 12, like 8 to 10, right? So when you get engaged with them, like if they like video games, you gotta use video games. So if we say let's talk about character development, right? Like how you see yourself. Let's say you got this game that just came out. What is your special powers? What will be your name? What will be your weakness? What will be your strength? This is what I'm telling the baby boys because they engage into games. So when you tell them how to create a player, they're like, oh, snap. We know how to do this, that, and the third. So now think about if you was that creative player, how you want to be successful, how you want to succeed in life or whatever, how you want to talk to other people and everything. What will be your gift? What will be your strength? What will be your secret weapon? Like you gotta like one thing about the mentoring thing, like you really gotta listen because you gotta you gotta be engaged, you gotta be involved, and you gotta know how to connect with them because they don't want to hear the old school stuff that you know because that's gonna go